That's good.
Well, we ready?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your patience. As you can see, we've got some commissioners here in Albany, but we have a number of commissioners that have dialed in due to a variety of circumstances, including the weather, other obligations. Unfortunately, some commissioners are not going to be able to join us because of other pre-existing obligations they have. So,
Can you speak up, Dan, please?
yeah, can somebody move the microphone closer? Thanks. Marvin, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying that due to the weather and other issues, we have a lot of people calling in, and there are some commissioners who aren't able to join us. So we'll make do with the best we can with technology. So we, from our last meeting,
This is Gary.
Yeah.
You are, I see everyone, but you are not on the screen here in Syracuse.
How about if somebody texts you a picture of me and you can hang it up in the office where you are, and it'll be, you know, a nice headshot, and I'll be smiling and the happy Dan. How about that? I don't know, Gary. I think that because of the number of people who are WebExing, I'm told that the camera angle has to be in a certain place, but well, I think the staff will try to work on that so you can actually see me live and in Technicolor.
No particular to me, Dan. I just, but my IT genius is in the room, and if the problem's not at my end, I'll let him go on to other business.
Yeah, all right, well, I think they're working on it, so let's keep moving. So what I was saying, Gary, was that because our last meeting was just 3 weeks ago, in the press of other business, the staff is still working on the minutes from our public session. So we will take them up at our next meeting. That brings us to a report from the staff on proposed plan for developing comprehensive lobbying regulations. Martin, are you going to carry that for us? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the Commission has discussed previously, staff has proposed issuing comprehensive lobbying regulations over the next year to 2 years, depending on the regulatory process. Further, as you also know, we presented the Commission with certain individual lobbying issues for their consideration in order to issue advisory opinions on these matters before the regulations are subsequently issued. These advisory opinions were a mechanism to generate guidance on discrete topics on an ongoing basis. So far, we've looked at the intersection between consulting and lobbying, including grassroots lobbying, as well as lobbying and social media activities. Last month, as you know, we issued the advisory opinion on consulting activities. Following that meeting, we published a series of frequently asked question documents that further explain the opinion. Last week, we had a series of roundtable discussions with members of the regulated community, including lobbyists, clients, and good government groups. We found them to be productive sessions. We were able to discuss a number of different elements that will be required in any guidance in order for it to be useful for practitioners in the regulated community. We also discussed the complexity of this topic, and it's going to require some very careful deliberation to ensure that the guidance that we issue is sufficiently detailed, but at the same time providing enough flexibility to accommodate quickly evolving technology. And we plan to bring the Commission a draft opinion in the next few weeks, next few meetings, I apologize. Given that the regulatory process is an extended one, and we anticipate a 1 to 2 year time span, based on some of the questions raised by commissioners, we wanted to bring you the plan right now for how it will proceed. We're currently in the research and drafting phase. There are a number of other states that have actually issued rules and regulations in addition to their lobbying statutes, and they're providing helpful examples in terms of how to structure the regulations as well as the breadth of what's covered. We anticipate bringing you the first draft of the regulations this summer. We will then put them out for public review or informal comment. After the commission's had time to digest those regs, as well as the feedback that we received from the public, we'll produce a new version for the commission to approve for issuance under the State Administrative Procedure Act. That will open up the first 45-day public comment period, which constitutes an official rulemaking process. And we hope to reach this point around the end of the year or after the holidays. If you have any questions about the process or the content of the regulations, please let me know now or after the meeting.
Anybody have any questions or comments for Martin?
I just wanted to add one point. The round tables, sorry, go ahead.
Marvin? Yeah, Marvin, let me just, Marvin, can I just make one comment?
Will these comprehensive lobbying regulations include regulations that deal with the issues that were raised under the most recent advisory opinion dealing with consulting and grassroots lobbying?
The plan right now is to incorporate that opinion and any others that are issued between now and the time of the regulations.
So I assume we will be receiving, once this is published for comment, we will be receiving a whole lot of comment again with regard to this recent advisory opinion, because it is now a part of the comprehensive regulations. Is that a fair statement?
I think that's a possible outcome. I can't speak to what people will want to comment on, but based on current press coverage, I would expect it, yes.
Thank you.
Marvin, I was just going to say, just given the logistics, for whatever reason, your screenshot happens to be rather small. So if you've got your hand up, it may mean that I just can't see you because the screen is set up in such a way that I can see your outline, but I can't necessarily see your hand. So I just want to make sure, and I know you will be, because you always are, just be vigilant if you want to be heard, and for whatever reason I'm not calling on you, it may very well be just because I'm not seeing you, and I just wanted you to know that as we go forward.
Thank you, Dan. I would just ask that I'm just having difficulty, perhaps others are having the same difficulty, perhaps not, but difficulty hearing you clearly.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're as close to the mic as possible, that's good, but can't do any better. I suppose that's it.
All right, we'll muddle through this, but yeah, the mic is literally like right in front of me. We'll get through it.
That's stereo.
Can I speak?
Yeah, Monica?
I just wanted to clarify that we had, 2 roundtable sessions on Friday on social media and where that intersects with lobbying, and that would be new guidance that we're contemplating, and that we are going to be posting on our website a summary of the issues that were discussed, as well as who attended at those roundtables, as we've done in the past.
Okay. Thank you. Unless there are other comments or questions. We have, as a commission, continued our search for an executive director. Since our last meeting, the subcommittee conducted additional work and met with additional candidates. The full commission has met with some additional candidates. That search is actually ongoing with candidates, or at least a candidate scheduled to meet with the commission. And I imagine that we will take that discussion up further as it relates to particular people, if need be, in our executive session. So unless there is other business that the commission wishes to conduct now, I will entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Executive Law, Section 94, subsection 19B, to conduct business pursuant to that body of law. And then when we finish, we'll return to the public session. Is there a motion? Seymour Knox, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand to go into executive session. And put them up high, please, because everybody, because folks need to be able to count. Okay, that's unanimous.
Just ask for it.
Okay, we've taken the folks in support of the motion. Are there any against the motion? Put your hand up and say no.
Okay.
Hearing none, the motion is granted unanimously. We'll now enter into executive session.
We don't have
That's all right, someone can sleep with it. All right, we're back in the public session. During our executive session, we considered a number of investigative matters and approved the opening of an investigation. We authorized the staff to send a guidance letter in a matter. We authorized the staff to communicate with an agency about a matter. We took up a number of personnel issues, and we adjourned into our public session. And unless there's any further business before the commission, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Any noes? Seeing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.